Well, good morning. Welcome to the program. Mike's side, it's Ed Legman. Joining me today is Tony Legman, who handles the evening program. Would you like to greet our listeners and viewers, Tony?
Hi. We have a very important guest this morning, and I would like to thank also Perla for joining us. And I'll pass on the mic to Michael.
Yeah, we're honored and delighted to have a singer-songwriter from Belgium. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our good friend, Michael James Black.
Hi, good morning, everyone. The honors are mine, Ed and Tony, so for having me here in the United States.
Yeah, welcome to the United States, and welcome to RadioFilipinoUSA.com.
Thank you.
So this is your, how many days have you been here now?
We've landed on Saturday evening, so it's our second day, basically, our second day. Yeah.
And what's your impression of Southern California?
Well, when we arrived, it was huge to see Los Angeles from the sky, and the weather was good, so we had some sightseeing tours yesterday.
Yeah.
We spent a couple of hours in the Hollywood Hills, the Hollywood sign, Beverly Hills, Rodeo Drive, the usual things, I guess, to see. So it was very nice. And we ended in Santa Monica Pier, the end of the Route 66. And we had some drinks in the bar. And then we drove back to the hotel.
You've been everywhere. And that's only first day, right?
That's the first day, so we are just getting started. And I have to say, after the interview, we are right off to Las Vegas and the Hoover Dam and Grand Canyon. And then we're returning to Los Angeles. And then we just proceed from there to see some other things.
So overall, how many days will you be staying here?
We're staying basically a week.
A week. That would be basically about 10 days, right?
About 10 days.
Yeah.
So do you ever sleep? do you find time to sleep? Michael?
Because of the time difference, the jet lag, I have to say it's quite hard to adapt.
Yeah, that's
hard
true.
is maybe
That's true.
a big word, but yes, you have to. I hardly find any sleep. It's like a shallow sleeping, but
That's right.
but we manage.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So as far as the weather is concerned, is it a lot better than what you have in Belgium?
Yes, it is, because we are already getting into the winter season
Right
now, because it's November and it's basically sort of the winter is approaching, and we have about 10 degrees, 15 degrees. It depends from the day, but the weather here in Southern California is just beautiful.
Okay. How did you find out about Radio Filipino USA?
Well, when I'm started with my songs or basically the genre I'm in, I've learned from my good friend Jean-Pierre. He's just not be seen on the camera right now. He's taking some photographs and picture of us. He's a producer, and he produces my songs, and he was also delighted to be here today.
Right.
And
so he
he said to me, you have to start with looking around through all the radio stations in Belgium, in Europe, or even worldwide.
Right.
And what I did, I just made my own survey.
Yeah.
And I mean, Radio Philippine was amongst the first radio stations I got a response.
Mm-hmm.
I got a response from I think it was Breeze Radio or some other radio from Australia,
mm-hmm.
and they were interested, but they didn't reply anymore. And you guys have been basically the first of yes, this song fits our thing, what we are doing on Radio Filipino, and that's the way it started.
Well, basically that's the key.
Yeah,
your music has to fit our format.
Yeah,
because we've been receiving requests from other singer-songwriters.
Yeah,
if we could possibly play their songs, but the thing is, a lot of them, their music doesn't really fit our format.
Yeah.
And that's the problem.
Yeah.
So when I got to listen to your music, this is a perfect fit.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So
and I'm liking to do this ballad thing, or the easy listening music. I think this would be me.
Yeah.
And of course, we are doing some up-tempo music at the moment. So another 3 or 4 songs are being prepared, I think, up until Christmas. And but it still would be me. I mean, my style already, I guess, through the first 3 songs we sent, and that's about what we are going to do.
The first song that you submitted to us,
Today's Tomorrow.
Today's Tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you come up with that song?
Basically, I was listening to the last album of Robin Gibb.
Yeah.
It's called 50th St. Catherine's Drive. It was the last album he recorded before he passed away. And there was a song, sometimes in the car when you're driving, I'm trying to listen to this and this artist, and there was a song called Mother of Love.
Mm-hmm.
And it has nothing to do, the content has nothing to do with the song, I wrote, but there was a passage in the song, Be My Lighthouse in the Storm. And I think this had something, and I don't know why, you can get just this kind of inspiration at a certain point. And I just, hit my attic where I have my little small studio where I'm preparing the demo songs.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wrote a song in a couple of hours, and Be the Lighthouse in the Storm is part of this song, but it has nothing to do.
So this particular song, was this the very first song that you composed?
No.
Oh.
There are many other songs. I have about 30 songs.
Really?
Yeah. And but not, it's like with all the other guys in the music industries. You write a lot of songs, but not all of them making it onto a CD or onto an album. You think the music is good or it sounds good, and then if you're listening in again another day, you just skip it and leave it aside and said, no, it doesn't sound good anymore. Or, you have to be convinced yourself, okay, that's the one, that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to arrange to make it a good song.
But don't you ever ask your friends to listen to this particular song and see if it's good or not? Because, people have different tastes.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's the same with the music I make. I mean,
Uh-huh.
that's when we do the arrangements, or let's start with the arrangements, not with the song. Like you said, it's a different taste. Someone who
Yeah.
doesn't like the guitar
Right.
jumping in here and there, or you should probably sing it like this. But I heard a lot of stories where people got influenced by other people, where they think you should do this and do this, but I want to do my thing. And
Right.
and I, of course, I'm listening. I'm listening especially
Right.
to Jean-Pierre, who's producing the music. Sometimes we have to switch words because it would sound better to do it like this, but basically the song stays the same. But I never ask anyone. I just do it. I have this thing at a certain point during the day, or when I'm coming home in the evenings, and then I hear something on the radio, or I got inspired by some other happening on the television or whatever. So that sounds good. Let's hit the attic, and then I'm just doing something. I just finish it off, and that's the way it stays. So I don't ask anyone's permission.
Okay. Yeah.
Is this good or is this not good? Because you have to you have to be sort of convinced of
Right.
yourself. So
Yeah.
it sounds kind of stupid is the wrong word, but you have to be this is what I like. Okay,
Yeah.
and this could be something. But whenever like people listen to the demo songs and they like it, and I think, okay, I'm on a good way to do so.
Yeah. I was listening to your song, and I listened to Robin Gibb's "Mother of Love,"
Mm-hmm.
and it seems that both songs seems to have a theme to guide somebody.
Yeah.
So
It is, I think I consider parts of the song I'm writing, being deep. That I always try to put in some meaning. If you're listening to, let's say, to contemporary artists, they're doing great jobs. They are, making good music, other people. But I'm trying always to tell a story. And it could be a thing I experienced myself.
that's right.
Something in the past, maybe with some old girlfriend, some sort of old story, or I see something on the radio, you watch some romantic films or whatever, and this is the inspiration I'm getting from it. I think it happens to a lot of singer-songwriters. They just, you need to have some sort of inspiration. You see something, you hear something, and then it makes sort of a click, or it doesn't make a click for a couple of weeks. I'm not writing every day.
Yeah.
Sometimes I have no thing going on a couple of weeks, but then suddenly it hits you, and then you have like, oh yeah, I have to go, and this is something. And then I'm starting to write the story. Of course, you have to keep it short. You can't make it that long, but you have to make like an intro, a main part, and then you're going, this is what I like to do.
Yeah.
That's the way I work.
James has a website. In case our listeners are interested to listen and buy his music, the website is michaeljamesblack.com.
Yeah.
I don't think I saw any lyrics of your songs on your website, because I'm the type of a person who would probably fall in love with a song, but before I do, I think the melody has to be good. In other words, I'm the type of person that secondary to me would be the lyrics of the song. I'm surprised. I think he knows the lyrics of the song.
Yeah, I
Right?
think Michael posted the lyrics of the song of Today and Tomorrow.
On his website, on your website?
Yeah,
I think it's on the website, or it's on.
It's on the website.
There's another website, Bandcamp.
Oh, it's this another website?
Bandcamp, yeah.
Oh, another website
There's
where-
also the lyrics.
Okay.
Yeah.
So other than your website, your music is also available for download on other websites,
Yes,
right?
it's not really, well, it's on the major online stores
Uh-huh.
like SoundCloud, Deezer, iTunes.
iTunes,
Yeah.
okay. Amazon as well?
Amazon, I just took one song off Amazon because they put the wrong price on it. They put
really?
on one song $9.99, so no one would buy it. so I have to look into it a little later. So, but I will put it back on Amazon. But I think SoundCloud, Deezer, and iTunes are the most popular things.
Okay. Why don't we acknowledge some of our listeners? So maybe Michael would know where they're from.
Okay, Yet Ureta is listening to us. Yet is in the Philippines.
All right.
Hi, Yet. If you have any questions, go ahead and post your questions. Hello to Nick Bartolome. Hello. I'm not quite so sure where Nick is from. Earlier, I think we had Perla. Was it Perla?
Yeah, Perla
Okay.
was there.
Anyway, this interview is being recorded, and you can easily, play this back as soon as the interview is over. If you don't have the time today, you can do it tonight or even tomorrow. Let's now give a listen to the very first song that Michael James Black has been promoting, and this one is Today's Tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
It's the waiting game you're playing all so long. Don't you realize it doesn't make us strong? Come into my world and don't you feel any sorrow? Today it's tomorrow. If he ever let us fall into the fire, it's today. Feelings getting higher. Come into my world and don't you feel any sorrow? Today hates tomorrow. I will always be your lighthouse in the storm, yeah. When your ship is on its way to hit the shore, I will always be a day ahead when you call, to keep you on the safe side before you fall. Today hates tomorrow when you call. Oh, today hates tomorrow when you call. Here we are, standing in the room. Look around you, daylight's coming soon. Hold on to my love, and don't you feel any sorrow. Today hates tomorrow. In the lonely nights, I hunger for your love. You make the call, but you don't wake me up. Hold on to my dream, and don't you feel any sorrow. Today hates tomorrow. I will always be your lighthouse in the storm, yeah. When your ship is on its way to hit the shore, I will always be the day ahead when you call, to keep you on the safe side before you fall. Today is tomorrow when you call. Oh, today is tomorrow when you call. It's the waiting game, it's ending now and here. All we do is just surrender. No more lonely nights, no more crying tears. It's the wake-up call feeling. Oh, carry on, oh, carry on. Nighttime is fading away. I will always be a day ahead when you call, to keep you on the safe side before you fall. Today it's tomorrow when you call. Oh, today it's tomorrow when you call.
Of course, that's coming from Michael James Black, and the song is Today is Tomorrow.
One of our listeners is Pam, and she's from Las Vegas.
Oh, hi, Pam.
And Pam, Michael and his friend will be in Las Vegas later today.
Yes, in the
And,
evenings.
yeah, in the evening. So if you get the chance, do you know where you're staying?
Yes, I don't have it with me at the moment. I think it's
They have no idea.
I don't
Yeah.
think-
one of those hotels. There.
one of those hotels.
Yeah.
I think it's in the south of the airport.
South of the airport.
But maybe
Oh.
if Jean-Pierre,
Uh-huh.
the producer, can grab my telephone, I can tell her straight away. It's on the.
Okay.
It's on the
Yeah.
Michael is,
breakfast
by
table.
the way, Michael is joined by his music. Is that what you
It's
call him?
producer,
Music
yes,
music
yes.
producer. His
Yeah.
name is JP. That's JP for short. He was introduced to me as somebody else. It's
It's a Jean-Pierre.
yeah. That's a French name.
French name.
A French name.
Why don't you show your face here, JP?
Yes.
Why don't you show your face here?
Yeah. Okay. There's JP right there.
There's JP.
He's music producer. Anyway, on your website,
Yeah.
I noticed that you have pictures of the Bee Gees, Robin and who's the other guy?
Robin Barry Gibb.
Barry Gibb.
Robin Gibb.
Yeah.
By the way, before we go
Sure.
into this, Pam, it's the La Quinta Inn Suites Las Vegas Airport.
Oh, La Quinta.
Okay,
La
La
Quinta.
Quinta
Yeah.
Okay.
Inn Suites Las Vegas Airport.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's where we are.
Okay.
But you will find us maybe in a casino.
Yeah. I'm sure.
Yeah.
So anyway, going back
Yeah.
to that, I was just curious how you met the two brothers.
Yeah, I met Robin Gibb through a charity event.
Uh-huh.
It's called the Heritage Foundation. That's a foundation in the United Kingdom. That's where he mainly lived.
Mhm.
So he had a house next to Barry Gibb's house in Florida, but he was mainly situated at home. So he liked. That's what I knew. He liked being in the United Kingdom better than in the United States. But of course, if they recorded in Miami, they came together in Miami and did the recordings. But I think later on, after Morris died, he stayed most of the time as I'm aware of, in the United Kingdom. Yeah, and the Heritage Foundation. They're doing some recognition of artists, some deceased artists. They are not with us anymore. And he supported this charity. And what he did was this sort of afternoon tea with Robin Gibb at his place. So it was kind of an exclusive event.
Yeah.
A couple of people, not too much. So it was good. And that's the way I got, let's say, acquaintance with him. So, and then every time I came over, I you just exchange a couple of words. You don't really have the time because there are so many people. They are talking to so many people.
Right.
You can't really be with him, let's say, for an hour. So that's no way. It's basically you say hello, you take a photograph, and a little bit of small talk. But doing this every year, I got to know his family, RJ, his son, very lovely, and his wife, Dwina, very lovely person. So we are still in touch. I call her once in a while, just the usual, just to say hello and yeah.
Did you get some sort of an encouragement from them as far as your music writing is concerned?
I mean, whenever you in this kind of holy halls, that's the way I describe it. It gets you. If you're in a place, where they created so many pieces of music and so good music, it gives you goosebumps. If you're being in the place where it happened, and not everything happened in his place, but a lot of music was written in this place. And I was basically in his living room, sitting on the sofa, and I went to he's got a sort of chapel on his piece of land. And one day I was, I set myself up. I wanted to give something back for because they had us like a couple of years every year in his place, and I was asking his son at one point, would you mind if I would set myself up in the in the church part of the house, and his white grand piano was there, and if I can play, To Love Somebody to the family. I mean,
really?
he was not there anymore by them. He was already he passed. He died.
Oh,
He passed away. But they let me do it, so it was the greatest thing, I guess. Whatever could happen, being in the house itself and playing To Love Somebody, and so I took all my PA gear with me in the car. I drove to England, loudspeakers and stuff, the guitar. I pre-recorded the orchestra at home, just to have like the whole orchestra with me, and then I played the guitar live and I sung live to the family, and it was nice.
So that alone was really an inspiration.
It is everything, I think, which is connected to them. It's a sort of an inspiration. But like I said, not every day. I don't have an inspirational moment every day. But just it's their music. I mean, I'm not like a die-hard fan. I wouldn't like scream. Whenever I saw them, but it's sort of. I just really like the music, and they are really down to earth. So when you're at home with him, especially in his place, so they are really down to earth people, and this makes them very attractive. And
do they have a huge house? Because
of course they do.
You mentioned a church.
They have like a former monastery. I think it's from 1200 something, and I mean the place is huge, and I do understand why people like him have huge places, because you can't show up at the front gate, so you would have like reporters everywhere. So now I understand why people like the big guys like here in Bel Air, they have or Beverly Hills, they have places where you can't look in, basically. So I would do the same. If I would be at this level, I would basically do the same, because you don't have any privacy. But it's a nice maintained piece of land. Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah. So I know, Michael, that you're still very young, but
thank
what
you.
what attracted you to music of the 80s or 70s?
If I look back, I mean, if I look at my age, and when I was about 20 or 25,
that's the ringer.
That's someone is calling.
Yeah,
don't worry. No, when I was about 20 or 25, I should listen to maybe techno music, which was in, or this dance music. But I never had a thing for this kind of music. I always loved like ABBA or Elton John, or the earliest song of Madonna, Mr. Foreigner, Michael Bolton. I always was attracted to this ballad kind of thing. I don't know why. It's just that's what I like. I like to have quiet music. I don't like this. I mean, you have good artists these days. If you're listening to Adele, or if you're listening to of course, there could be songs from Justin Timberlake, even Justin Bieber. I mean, he attracts a different public or a different audience, but they are still good. Or even Ariana Grande, we heard yesterday, Breathing. I just like the arrangement of the music. I said we should do something the next time if my lyrics and my style fits. So because Jean-Pierre is developing my style. So, and that's.
So when you create music, do you come up with the melody first, and then the lyrics?
For me, it works.
Both?
I'm both. I'm composing and I'm writing at the same time. I've tried to do write the lyrics down, but then I find it hard to make a melody around it. So what I do is basically, you have to imagine like this. Let's say I'm in the house, I'm watching television, like the Men on Fire song, which we will hear maybe a little later. I bought myself a CD from Andy Gibb, the younger brother who died very early of the Bee Gees, and his daughter Peter Gibb. She launched, another album, like a compilation of music of Andy Gibb's. And there was one song called Men of Fire. And I think Barry Gibb and Morris Gibb, they wrote the song. And I just, I was sitting on the terrace outside. It was warm, somewhere May, I guess, and I heard this song. I said, "This has something. The song, and I have to do something with this." And I like this "Man on Fire" thing, so I went up into my attic and I've played something on the piano just to get into the mood, and then it starts. You have the lyrics and you just hit the keys. And then that's the way it starts. So I'm writing, composing at the same time. Basically, when I'm 3 hours further, most of the time the song is ready.
Which is harder to do, the melody or the lyrics?
No, it's not harder. No,
Yeah, for somebody gifted like you, maybe it's easy, right?
Yeah, yeah. No, if you have this thing going on in your mind, if you have the opening and it comes to you, I'm just doing it in one go, and it depends. Sometimes I'm tired. When it's late, I used to compose until 3 o'clock in the morning. And get up at 6, so you don't do this like in a week,
right.
Like whole weeks in a row. You do this a couple of nights, and then you're really done. But if I have the thing going on, I strive to finish the song, at the same day or the same night. And if I can't do it, I'm starting with the first verse and the first chorus, and if I have this, I'm singing this into a recorder to have it, and I can leave it for 2 or 3 days if I don't have the time. But then I have still the beginning of it, and then I finish it off, a day or two later. But most of the time, it's done in one go.
In one day?
Less than one day.
Less
Sometimes
than 1 day.
2 or 3 hours. It depends from how fast things are.
Oh, okay.
Floating through my head.
Yeah. Why don't we play that song?
Okay. This is Man on Fire. Man on
yes.
Fire.
Enjoy.
Never looked into your eyes, only saw you by surprise. I never realized you and I, we are alone. It's time to going home. I never realized it's a touch of a woman. I'm on fire anytime you look at me. Oh, woman, let me be. I'm a man on fire. I want your desire. Here in your arms I belong. Oh, woman, when I need you, I close my eyes. Life will go on. I have to be strong. One day you will be mine. Until the end of time, I never realized. Just take a chance on me. Oh baby, don't you see, I never realized. It's a touch of a woman. I'm on fire anytime you're close to me. Oh, woman, set me free. I'm a man on fire. I want your desire. Here in your arms I belong. Oh, woman, when I need you, I close my eyes. Life will go on. We have to be strong. Feeling alright, my queen of the night. I kiss you in the shadows, holding you tight. I'm a man on fire. I want your desire. Here in your arms I belong. Oh, woman, when I need you, I close my eyes. Life will go on. man on fire. I want your desire. Here in your arms I belong. Oh, woman, when I need you, I close my eyes. Life will go on. We have to be strong.
Michael James Black, live right here on RadioFilipinoUSA.com. That's available on his website, michaeljamesblack.com. So back to Michael James Black. Who picked that song? I mean, your stage name. Was it you?
It was myself. Yes,
Oh, really?
I did
Okay.
myself. Yes,
Uh-huh.
I was. I translated just basically my name into English because
Uh-huh.
it sounds more, let's say, international.
Right.
So I know, like, if you are, if your name is like Justin Bieber, so this sounds more international,
Yeah.
already, or like
right.
Justin Timberlake.
Yeah.
So, but in Europe, our names don't sound that international.
Right.
Unless your surname is, taken over from
Yeah.
some parts of the family from a different country.
Plus-
So I think Michael Black, that was that was the thing I wanted to have in the first place. But it's you're registered like as an artist in a database, where you get the royalties back, and the name was already taken by someone else.
Oh,
so I had
okay.
to invent a middle name, Michael James Black, but I still think it sounds good.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's true.
Well, the main advantage of that is it's easier to remember.
Yeah.
Right.
Michael,
right.
Michael's like a regular first name.
It is,
Same
yes.
thing with James, and Black is it's like a common American name.
It is.
Yeah.
But the whole combination, Michael James Black, sounds,
Yeah.
I think,
Yes. It
makes
sounds
it
like
more-
a superstar already.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
So, basically, this all the songs that we have from you
Mhm.
are more or less influenced by the Bee Gees, right?
No, basically the content of a song is inspired by life. Basically,
Okay,
just what
yeah.
what you see, what you hear,
Right.
like I said, on television,
Uh-huh.
or if you see something going on in your neighborhood, or if people from work, or they are telling some stories,
Right.
and that's where I make up some things. But the influence, like what you heard on "Man on Fire," and the last chorus, I did this.
Mhm.
So this is, I like this kind of stuff. So I'm trying to put this sort of things into the songs. But of course, it's the music. It's their music.
So that song, "Man on Fire,"
Mhm.
what is it all about?
It's like you want to have this girl, and
Uh-huh.
I'm on fire for
Oh,
that
okay.
girl. Let's
Okay.
say,
Okay.
basically, and it applies to a lot of people. Like
Right.
but when I listen to the radio, and I like the song, and I like the content, the lyrics of the song, it's like, okay, he's also telling about, or she's telling about life, basically,
Uh-huh.
and that's what it is. So that's
Right.
not. It has not to be all the time a really physical person. It's
Uh-huh.
it could be, but it's a story.
Yeah.
I'm telling, and everybody who listening to the thing is, or to the song, sorry, makes his mind up,
Mhm.
and
When you arrange a song, who's the music arranger, and what does a music arranger do?
I'm composing the music,
Uh-huh.
and I'm writing the music. Because I do both parts,
Right.
and then I'm making a demo of the
Mhm.
song, just to get into the feeling of the song where I want to go to, and then I'm sending the music off to Jean-Pierre's
JP, yeah.
studio, and he is arranging the music in the studio, everything, and he. What he does, so we know each other quite a while
Right.
by now, and he's basically the one who creates my style. That
Uh-huh.
you've been recognized. If this is Michael James Black.
Right.
Like if you're listening to Ariana Grande, this Ariana Grande, that's her style. Whatever the style is, whatever the meaning of this is. So, but he tries to do, to do it.
So the process of recording a song in a studio, how long does it take for one song to be finished?
I think the the arranging of the song, Jean-Pierre, if you can help me out, takes about 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
Hi everybody. I think it's some songs are quite fast, but some songs take some more time. So your songs is about 2 days, I think.
yeah, 2
Yeah.
days.
Yeah.
And like what I do, he needs to think over the song. He needs to listen to the demo to get into it. So he can't just sit there, okay, that's the demo, I'm
Right.
starting, and that's the way it works. So he needs to think, he needs to get into the mood. Sometimes he needs to leave it for a couple of hours or maybe for another day because he can't find the inspiration of...
Just like a singer, he also needs an inspiration,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Also, because I was playing the piano, and
Right.
when it's coming in my mind,
Uh-huh.
I can play it, but it's not there.
So when you do that, when you come up with the way you want it to be arranged, how do you keep that in your mind? Or do you write musical notes? Oh, you write the musical notes?
Some down notes, yeah. I'm playing some notes and I try it out. Like he was trying the melody, you know?
So I'm assuming you know how to play a lot of instruments.
Yeah.
You play the piano,
Playing piano,
Keyboard,
synthesizers, keyboards,
guitars.
Yeah.
There's one particular song. I'm not so sure if it's
It changes. That's the new
the
one.
one.
New
that
one, yeah.
No, prior to that, there's a guitar playing.
Which
It
one
sounded-
is it?
That was Today's Tomorrow.
Okay.
There we had a different guitarist.
Which one did we play a few minutes ago? Danger- Man on Fire.
Man on Fire. Yes.
I think it's Danger Zone. There's a guitar. There's a part of the song wherein it sounded like a guitar. I don't know if you were
I
using a
think it's
guitar.
I play it on the keyboard.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
no wonder you can't remember if it was a guitar or not.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I think you mentioned that to me, Michael.
Yeah.
That sometimes he's playing on an instrument, which sounds like a guitar, but in reality, it's not a guitar.
No, I mean these days, you have a lot of technique, available.
Right.
Like 30, 35 years ago, you needed to have an orchestra basically, or need to have a band to
Right.
do all of this, but it would take you like weeks to finish off a song.
Yeah.
And now these days you have so good plugins. You
Right.
have, but he's got all the good equipment, of course. But he's producing also other people, major people in Belgium, the Netherlands, and so he's got all the material available. And it's amazing how good technology is, and you can't hear the difference. But I have to say, the song Changes we are going to play later, the new one, which I sent you. We just finished the song 2 or 3 days ago, prior our arrival here, and there we had like a real saxophone player. So
really?
It's a friend of mine. His name is Eddie, and he's a first-class saxophone player. So he's really good in what he does.
Yeah, sometimes when the instrument is in the front, also we like a guitar or a saxophone, we're gonna use a real guitar player.
Yeah.
But if it is in the music, we are gonna use the plugins,
No. Then this is enough, because it's like melting in the whole mix. And if the music gets mastered at the end, to make it fit to all the appliances, like a kitchen radio or like a stereo or like car radio or on the mobile phone, that's what the mastering studio is doing. Then some of the instruments are like more on the back, and you wouldn't even hear the difference. I mean, if I'm sometimes coming into the studio, he is finishing another song, for another artist, and he asked me, and do you know, listen to it, and I'm thinking it's a real guitar player, but it isn't. And that's the same what we found out with Changes. He started to play a saxophone from the plugins from the computer, and I instantly heard, no, it doesn't sound good. You need to have a real saxophone player, because it really gives the edge. Really,
because that instrument is in the front. So,
but that song, was it Man on Fire? Yeah, it sounded like a guitar.
Yeah, but sometimes the plugins are so really good.
Yeah.
That
so that part, were you the one playing the keyboard?
Yeah,
he did
I
it.
played it on the keyboard. Yeah,
He did the whole Man on Fire
but
thing,
thinking like a guitarist play, you can play on the keyboard, but you must think, okay, a guitar player plays like this, play like that. That's not easy to do. Yeah.
But he's got years of
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah.
So he's doing this, I think,
35 years.
yeah, 35 years. So he knows all the stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
growing up and yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
okay. Speaking of that song, I think we might as well play that. That's "Man on Fire"
Yeah.
by Michael James Black.
Oh, that's what we had. Man on Fire.
Oh,
It was,
That's one we have. Maybe the
Danger Zone.
Oh, Danger Zone.
Danger
Okay.
Zone is the one. Yeah.
So we already played "Man on Fire," right?
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And today it's tomorrow. But that one we have not played yet.
Now my computer is acting up.
This is live. Yeah.
Uh-huh. I don't know why this is happening, but
Oh, we just wait a while.
yeah. Would you like to ask? I'll just reboot my computer.
Okay.
You need a microphone.
So, Danger Zone. You're talking about a friend or maybe an acquaintance that you're giving an advice. What is the background of the story?
You know, sometimes I don't want to talk about those things.
Oh.
There are really a lot of artists. They don't tell the whole story. They don't, and that's what I wanted to do. That's why I'm staying just with the explanation. You just get inspiration from life. Let's leave it like this. But of course, it's a human story behind this going on. But I don't want to tell how and why or what's the
Yeah, because when I was listening to the song, I had the sense that Michael is trying to give advice.
Yeah.
And it can apply to a lot of situations.
Yes, that's what we said earlier. I mean, it's like if you have 10,000 of people listen to this song, and there will be always people who recognize themselves in the situation, but if the situation to them is different, what I had in mind when I wrote it.
Right.
But this is like with thousands of songs, they are out there, where you can put yourself into the same situation. Yeah,
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Okay.
Well, I can't believe this is happening to us. Actually, this is. I think this is my second time to interview someone on the program. The very first one was a long time ago. This was on the very first year that we started our radio. Usually, if there is an interview to be made, we usually have it remote. Either the singers or performers are in different different places, and Tony would usually do that. So I don't think I'm lucky when it comes to.
See, I changed the game. I came to you guys.
But sometimes, just like I did an interview with a composer, singer also from the Philippines. And I gave some basic instructions about Skype and about the computer that she's going to use. But during that day, maybe a few minutes before the live interview, she changed her mind and used another computer. But the problem is the computer is quite slow, and it's not giving us the right quality of sound that
you get this robot voice
and
picture freezing and
that's right. That's right. So it's really very hard sometimes to control the situation, especially if you do it on a remote basis. Yeah.
That's why I'm excited to come over to the United States to have it in one room.
And we get the chance to meet you personally too.
Yes.
And visit this beautiful country.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I like this personal thing as well. So that's why I decided to come over. So because it gives a different feeling, if you know the people.
Right. And Michael will be And JP will be in Las Vegas later today.
Performing
And-
in the Caesar's Palace.
Yeah, performing in Caesar's Palace. So that will come. That will come.
maybe.
Who knows?
You
huh?
never know. You
You
never,
never know.
Exactly.
You never
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
When
So-
that time comes, don't forget. you
No,
know,
no, 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 no.
Yeah.
It's mandatory to come to you then, you know.
Michael was gracious enough to bring us some Belgian chocolates.
Yes.
Before he before he left Belgium, he made mention about this, and I said, "Wow."
And you said you like Belgian chocolates.
Yeah, I liked them.
Yeah.
The only place where I go to get them would be IKEA,
Oh, yeah.
but just the same, they're the ones that you buy usually from your grocery stores, right?
Yes, it's
Yeah.
it's the commercial chocolate.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. But we have a lot of good chocolate makers in Belgium,
In Belgium,
a place
yeah.
nearby. I hope you like it. So
Yeah.
later on, and when I'm traveling and I'm whatever, I have a situation where I meet someone, then I bring always chocolate. So I think it's a nice gesture and
Yeah.
Mhm.
it
And
makes it sweet.
Anyway, thank you so much for those chocolates. So, which
You're
one are we
welcome.
playing today? Which one?
Danger Zone.
Danger Zone. was
Danger
the next
Zone.
one.
Yeah,
Yes.
listen to this one.
Yes.
There are two songs that I like from you. One of them is this one, Danger
Yeah,
Zone,
yeah.
and
The Man on Fire.
Man on
That's-
Fire.
yeah. You
Yeah.
have been the man on fire.
Yeah,
You told me,
yeah,
that you like it.
You're on fire.
Yeah,
Man on
okay.
fire.
So here's Michael James Black.
Looking down on the city from my window, playing with the lights of the New York sky. Tears running down your face, like the raindrops on my window. Too much weight to carry. Nothing is what it seems. You have to carry on in your danger zone. A thousand dreams running through your mind, beating the storm, playing with fire. Tears running down your face, only one desire. So many dreams to carry, but nothing is what it seems. You have to carry on in your danger zone. I do understand what you're going through. Being a stranger to yourself. Nothing is real, but you understand. Your comfort zone is your danger zone. Nothing is real, but you understand. Your comfort zone is your danger zone.
That's the one. That's the one. Oops. Yeah, that's Danger Zone. It's available from his website,
Yes.
michaeljamesblack.com. I saw one question here a few minutes ago. Do you have something there, Tony?
No.
I saw something that I know I should ask. Nothing to do with music. I just want the listeners and the viewers to know that Michael has been to the Philippines.
I've been to the Philippines,
Yeah.
yes.
And how long ago was this?
This is about 20 years ago.
Wow.
So I still was young.
Yeah.
I've been in Manila, and back in the time we tried to start an import-export business. So
Right.
we visit Manila and part of Luzon, and we traveled to Mactan Island.
Mactan, yeah.
Mactan Island.
Yeah.
And we spent there a couple of days just to relax. But we have been, the business turn didn't work in the
Yeah.
end. So we had a guy like a man in the middle or middleman, and a
He's not-
consultant, and he just he disappeared basically.
Yeah.
So the thing went wrong.
Yeah. He's not the man on fire.
He's not the man on fire. No, he's in the danger zone.